parade of morons. Marjorie Taylor Greene responded to reporters asking about her COVID vaccination status as a violation of her HIPAA rights.
Have you yourself gotten vaccinated, and do you disagree with the Republican whip?
Well, your first question is a violation of my HIPAA rights.
I hate even giving this woman attention. I can't stand her. She reminds me of all the people who were mean to me when I was in high school. Oh. She just has that vibe of like someone who's just a bully and a bitch. She's a bitch.
Yeah.
She's got a CrossFit vibe.
She does.
And she should not be allowed to lead. But like Justin Amash, when he was on our podcast, he said none of these people are fit to lead. It's a popularity contest, and she's exactly the kind of person who would win a popularity contest in high school. She doesn't even know what HIPAA rights are. None of these people do.
You see, with HIPAA rights, we don't have to reveal our medical records, and that also involves our vaccine records.
It is not a violation of your HIPAA rights to be asked a question about your health. I'm just going to start when the dentist is like, hey, are you flossing? That's a violation of my HIPAA rights. I'm not going to answer that question. Have you been watching your cholesterol, Bridget? A violation of my HIPAA rights, doctor, for you to ask me any questions about my health. The doctor's like, that's not the way that works. I'm not supposed to share your information about your health. It's a violation. It's just so stupid. Everything is so dumb. This week in particular really pushed me to the edge of how dumb everything is. And I kept thinking about Tim Dillon's pillow that I have in my office and his quote that I really think applies this week. Every major institution is against you and will let you die. We all know this now. People know this, and yet our leaders think we don't know this and are wondering why we're not listening to them.
And we should have just blind trust.
Yeah. That all of our institutions have done nothing but shred credibility on all sides. I do not care what side you're on. They've just shred their credibility, and they're like, why aren't those plebs listening to us? I'll tell you why. Because we're going to start a revolution. That's why.
And now some of the NFL players like Dak Prescott and DeAndre Hopkins are saying the same thing.
You got the vaccine?
I don't necessarily think that's exactly important, Clarence. I think that's HIPAA.
Okay, that man can say whatever he wants because he is hot as I'm sorry.
It's true.
He can be as dumb as he wants to be because he is a smoke show.
Hello, Dad.
So the NFL instituted a new policy this past week that said if the game can't be rescheduled because there was an outbreak of COVID among unvaccinated players, then they have to take a forfeit and none of the players get paid. So it affects the entire team. And it's interesting to me because there's been so many people just bullying people to try and take this vaccine, and they're all on their moral high ground about it, and so many white progressives speaking on behalf of the Black community. And I do enjoy seeing the collision of what the virtue signaling white progressives think versus what is actually going on in the Black community when it comes to vaccines. And then still there's this pandering, condescending attitude of well, it's because they're underserved and we just haven't knocked on their doors enough. They can't just make up their mind to not get this and have their own reasons for doing that. Mm-hmm. It's so annoying. It's you guys are so racist. It's wild. It's wild watching all of this. And anyway, why does anyone think that this answer to this question is okay, so we know you're not vaccinated? When you're hey, are you vaccinated? That's a violation of my HIPAA rights. You could just lie, or you could just say no. It's just weird.
Right.
Why do you think that now? Okay, so now we know you're not vaccinated. You're still not fooling anyone. So it's clear now that Marjorie Taylor Greene is as dumb as a football player.
And football players can earn a seat in Congress.
That's fine with me, actually. At least it would be great eye candy instead of this freaking basic-ass white chick.
Okay, then we have French President Emmanuel Macron floats the idea of no vaccine, no vote.
What happened to liberty? Huh? Do you guys need your statue back? you return it? I feel like you need some help over there. There's going to be a lot of protests. We're going to see what happens in France with this because I don't think they're going to take too kindly to the mandatory vaccinations over there. And they're marching today as we speak. There's like 125 protests. So they're definitely saying you need it for pubs and trains, which I find weird. They didn't say you needed it to go vote. That's why people are like on the conspiracy train. They didn't say you needed it to vote, but they didn't say you didn't need it yet. It wasn't excluded. We'll see.
Les Miserables.
We'll see. I mean, they're going to bring back the guillotine.
Viva la revolution!
A sixth Texas Democrat tested positive for COVID-19, one of the ones who flew in on that private jet.
Did they have a layover in Wuhan? What are these people doing? Where did they go? I don't understand. They like got on their private jet, landed in D.C., and now literally everyone in D.C. has COVID. There's like a super spreader event. They're like, we're going as refugees from our country, from our state. We left our home. And now they're bringing COVID everywhere. I'm not going to make the joke I want to make.
Make it.
Not going
Come
to.
on, Bridget.
Nope.
At least do it for me and
No, I don't feel
Maggie.
like being like Ted Cruz. Speaking of Ted Cruz, did he put a freaking COVID bat on that plane? Is he setting them up?
Emotional support bat.
Ted Cruz is a parody. I can't believe that guy took so much shit openly from Trump and still kisses his ass. What a big ass pussy that guy is.
Donald J. Trump ain't going anywhere.
I'll never be able to take him seriously. Ever. Like, you're just a bitch. You are one of the first people who's going to die in the revolution.
Because Bridget's going to come for you.
Knocking on my door like, were you threatening Ted Cruz?
Like, yes.
I'll be like, hey, stowed a COVID bat in the emergency mask that dropped down from the Democratic private jet that flew to Washington, D.C.
Watch this conspiracy theory start to get passed around.
It won't.
No,
Nothing
because
of
no
ours
one watches
does.
Survivor.
Thank
God.
God.
I can spread it around Telegram if you'd like, Bridget.
I think we're right.
We're right in that sweet spot.
We're like those stealth spy planes that
Flying
fly
under
like
the
right
radar.
below the radar.
We're going to be so fun when we actually get on the radar.
No, we should just get ahead of it and make a montage of us being like politically incorrect.
Horrible
like,
people.
oh, over the wall, frickin' retards, all the things we say.
Okay, then we have unvaccinated Trump supporter who spread coronavirus conspiracy theories dies of COVID-19.
Oh, Sam.
My mentor.
So we were looking into what this lady believed when we were like, what kind of COVID vaccine conspiracy theories did she spread?
And we were like, this is Sam.
And Sam's like dying laughing, and it's like, it's everything I believe.
I've got it here. She says shared articles accusing the World Health Organization of a cover-up of the Wuhan virus and claiming COVID-19 is cover for globalists to usher in UN Agenda 2030.
2030, she knew!
A sustainable development initiative right-wing conspiracy theorists assert is a plot to create a one-world government.
Are you sad about the loss of your mentor?
Yes.
She taught Sam everything she knows. I mean, she was pretty forward thinking for someone who looks like she wasn't going to live to like 2023. 2030 you're worried about? She wasn't looking great. Did you guys text each other? Did she teach you everything? Tell you to carry the torch?
Everything.
I can't believe you let the media get away with this, telling us that she died of
Fight
COVID.
back.
I mean, this is just a fantasy. I couldn't help but laugh. It's not funny, but it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Whenever anyone is like blatantly and openly out there and they're like, COVID is a hoax, as they are on their like deathbed, I'm like, you know, one thing doesn't lie, and it's death.